Hello there, everybody. It is Donovan Rose, and today Nerd Initiative is spilling all the tea with a very special margarita night about Sweet Magnolias season three. Did I mention that I'm joined by one of the Sweet Magnolias herself, Brooke Elliott, aka Dana Sue Sullivan? Thank you so much for joining me this evening, Brooke.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to talk about season three. It's been a year and a half since we've been in Serenity, and we've gotten basically nothing about season three until today. And we're going to talk about that. The trailer, talking to you today, it's just so crazy what a coincidence it was.
I know, perfect. Yeah,
Right, right. And season three left us on so many cliffhangers that we're going to get into. But before
yeah.
we get into that, I can't talk to you without talking about one of my favorite shows ever, Drop Dead Diva. Oh my gosh, like this is just so surreal. Drop Dead Diva was one of the first shows that I really got into and would make sure that I'd go every week and watch the new episodes because my mom passed away in May of 2009 and this show came out just a couple months later, and well, it had me thinking like maybe my mom pressed the return button and she's somewhere out there in the world. It truly kind
Right.
of helped me just get over that and overcome everything, and not only that but accept who I am, seeing Jane's confidence as a bigger person. I'm a bigger gay man. It helped me just have the confidence and be who I am. So thank you for
Great.
becoming the Drop Dead Diva. I know that you were Broadway actress, and this wasn't something that you had really done before. You took some acting classes during the strike back in 2008, and then you just became the Drop Dead Diva, and the rest is history.
Yeah, yeah. It was something I was doing Broadway and kind of felt this kind of pull to TV and so I took a ton of classes and just kept taking classes and then you know, lo and behold, here came Diva.
Well,
So
that's
sorry about your
crazy.
mother. I'm
Oh,
so sorry
no.
about your mom.
You
Yeah,
know,
I'm
everything
sorry.
happens for a reason. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And as
Yeah.
horrible as of an experience it was, I wouldn't be who I am today if that didn't happen to me. So, but
Yeah, I
as
understand.
far as Drop Dead Diva goes, 2023, it's the year of reboots and everything like that. Would you ever come back for that, or do you think that, Jane Deb's story is kind of concluded?
You know, it's interesting. It's kind of both because I feel like a completeness with Jane, and yet at the same time, kind of not. So I would be interested in conversations about that. I mean, that could be really fun, right? That could
Absolutely.
be
Do you still
something.
talk to any of the cast and all that, or?
I do. Lex Medlin, who played Owen, he and I are very, very, very good friends. I probably talk to him a couple times a week. And then, yeah, and then we text every once in a while with everyone else, and everyone kind of went on their paths and have their lives. But yeah, it's it's great, and I love, like, Lex and I became really good friends during the show, and that has only grown over the years, which is great. He's such a tremendous guy. So, and his wife and kids are wonderful, and so I've
Oh.
kind of become like a little part of their family, I
You're like a
feel like.
little auntie,
So
like,
yeah.
oh, that's
Yeah,
so cute. Every time I
yeah,
see him, I see him in a lot of things, and I'm just like, oh, it's Owen.
yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah,
no, that's definitely something I would love, even a half an hour special, just see what everybody's up to. I know that it gave me one of
yeah.
my favorite desserts, the pake. I'm not even kidding. I've literally made pakes multiple times. They are
I love
so
that
good.
you've made cakes.
Yeah, every time I rewatch Drop Dead Diva at least once a year, and it's proven really difficult lately because it switches all the time where you can watch it. And honestly, I need
Yeah.
to just get the DVD. I don't even know if I have anything to play DVDs, but
Right,
but
right.
yeah, every
Yeah,
time I
it's
watch
on
it.
it's on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries right now.
Hallmark.
So
Oh yeah,
it's
you,
like
you
playing
just had a movie
consist
come out, didn't you? Like a couple recently with Hallmark.
well, actually that was with Lifetime,
Oh,
but
Lifetime, Lifetime.
yeah, the Christmas Country Christmas Harmony
Yes,
came
yes.
out with Lifetime last Christmas. But yeah, but Diva is playing all the time on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries right now. So
Okay,
anybody
well,
who
I'm gonna
wants
need
to
to
kind of
go.
catch up or yeah, or watch it again, yeah. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, well, that's
So
so
watching
exciting.
it has kind of brought it back to me. Like watching it, I'm like, oh my God, there's all this nostalgia and it's
What
kind of like
if,
reliving
like,
it. And yeah, Yeah, we'll see. You never know, right? You never know.
Exactly. I mean, there's
Yeah.
definitely still fans out there, so if we bring back the demand, who knows?
Yeah, man. Once you're in with Jane, you're in with Jane.
Exactly. Jane Bainham, it's like, no, you can't leave her.
Right, exactly.
Now
Yeah.
stepping into Sweet Magnolias a little bit. First, when I first saw the show and even the title sequence, I knew I recognized the city. It is filmed in Covington, Georgia. One of my favorite
Mm.
shows, The Vampire Diaries, is filmed and set in there. So I was like, that
Yeah,
clock
yeah.
tower is Covington. Do you film a lot there, or is it mostly in the studio and just like, the city shots filmed there?
No, it's actually, I mean, it's both. A lot of our exteriors are there. The outside of Dana Sue's house is there, so we shoot there. We shoot in that town square that they have there, which is super cute. It's really sweet. And there was like a mural that someone painted that they included the Sweet Magnolias on, which was really sweet.
Gosh, that's
And yeah, so we'll shoot there a lot. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, like outside the church
yep.
is there. So we're there often. Of course, like inside Dana Sue's house, inside Maddie's house, inside Helen's house, the kitchen, those are all our stages.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of outdoor stuff is in Covington. We're there often. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I always wanted to, because you can do like the
Yeah.
Vampire Diary tours there. I've always wanted to make it out there, but now that I know
Oh,
two amazing shows are filmed there, it's a need. I must now.
you should come to Covington.
Yes.
Don't maybe go in the summer just because it's pretty hot. But
Okay.
know, unless you're like, I'm ready to sweat, let's
I
do
already
Atlanta.
run warm, so if I'd be like melting over there.
It's hot. It's hot when we're shooting out there. It's hot.
So
I
now
don't know
Dana
what else you can
Sue.
say about Atlanta. It's
Oh,
hot.
no, honestly though, yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Dana Sue, how did that even become? Was it just something that came across you? I know after Drop Dead Diva, you were in a couple, little things here and there, and then
Mhm.
all of a sudden, 2020, you were on one of the biggest streaming platforms, starring in a show.
Yeah, we have a little bit in common. I lost both my parents while I was shooting Drop Dead Diva. My dad died in 2010, right after our second season. And then my mom got really sick. So she was sick all through season six. And then she died right after season six. Um, so I was helping, between seasons five and six, I was at the hospital with her 24/7. And then during season six, I was flying back and forth trying to be with her and still shoot the show. And then the show ended, and I went to be with her on hospice. And then after that, I moved to LA, and that was a move that because I wasn't living in LA at the time, so with the loss of both my parents and the show ending, which was a huge like ending after 6 years, and then moving to a new city, there was just like some grieving adjustment time I needed,
Mhm.
for like real life time.
Right, right.
Um, yeah, and so that was probably a year and a half, maybe two, that I took just kind of trying to grieve all those things you do. So and then I did a couple pilots that didn't end up going, which that happens all the time. And yeah, and then some little, and then Sweet Mags, it's funny, I think that pilot season I was uh about to test for another show, and but they had kind of put their test on hold for a second, or there was like a time delay on that. um and my people called and they said, hey, why don't you go take this meeting with Cheryl J. Anderson and Dan Paulson, and the casting director was there. And I was like, okay, so I went and chatted with them, and it was just kind of when something works,
It
and
just
it works
clicks.
when it works. And we had a great meeting, and I think it was supposed to be, I don't know, 20 minutes, and I was there like an hour, and we chatted about Dana Sue, and we chatted about um, all kinds of things for the story, and where Cheryl might be coming from with the transitioning from the books and things like that. And I called my people afterwards, and I was like, what's going on with that show? Like,
Tell me
where are they in
more.
their process, and what are they looking for? What's going on? What's going on with them? And a series of events happened, but very, 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 very quickly. And before I knew it, like they had wanted me and I wanted them, and we kind of signed on. So it was pretty quick. So, but that kind of stuff, like you can't plan for it. It just kind of happens when it's time to happen, right? So
Exactly. And like you
yeah,
said, like the other, like we were talking about, everything happens for a reason. If you would have
right.
that pilot, the other one would have went through, you got that part, there would have been maybe been a completely different Dana Sue. So everything
Exactly,
happens for a
completely
reason,
different.
and we have a
Yeah.
perfect Dana Sue.
Aw, thank you. That's very nice of you to say that.
Absolutely. Now speaking of Sweet Magnolias, there are 11 books. Have you read any of them?
No,
No,
I have
me
not read any of them.
me either. But sometimes,
Yeah.
excuse me, sometimes I like that
Mhm.
because when you read books, sometimes you have everything set in your mind, and then when you do the screen
Yeah.
adaptations, it's completely different and it kind of ruins it for you. So now
Yeah.
you have fans strictly of the show as well as fans of the books who can come in and get a different perspective on it.
It's true. It's true. And I think Cheryl J. Anderson, who adapted the books to the show, to the TV, to the screen. Um, I had said to her, I said, would you like me to read the books? I could read them, not read them, whatever you would think is best. And she was like, we're going to take your character and Annie, the daughter, in kind of slightly different directions. She's like, so don't worry about it. And I really liked that, actually, because then what was given to me in the script and those words, without a preconceived idea of maybe what she should be or whatever, I got to just kind of come in and create what I thought Dana Sue might be, given the information I was given. So yeah, so it was completely just a creation based on what was already created, I guess, if
Right.
that makes sense. Yeah.
No, that totally does. And I think,
Yeah.
that's almost better because that adds your own uniqueness to it instead of, like you said, trying to play somebody else. You created your own character.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's good to do the reading, and then sometimes it's like maybe don't. There's an argument for both. So, yeah.
Exactly. Now Dana Sue, oh my gosh, she is just a complete powerhouse of a woman. Her and Jane are completely different women, but she's an
They are.
amazing chef. What about Brooke? Do you like to cook? Are you more of a order out microwave burrito kind of girl, or do you like to cook at the, cook?
Here's the thing. I really like to cook. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm good at it, but I enjoy it. Like I
Same.
think I think it's fun, right? I think it's fun to try to create things and follow a recipe, or maybe not follow like I think it's
Make a
fun.
cake, a new invention,
Exactly.
right?
You make a pig. What kind of pigs have you made?
Well, it was like a cream. I honestly, it was a couple years ago. There was like a cream cheese, cheesecake one. So it had like
Oh,
raspberries and a cream cheese, and there was like a chocolate chip one with strawberry. But it was like the
oh
pie
my
crust. It
gosh.
was really interesting because I don't like pie crust, so I did like a
Oh,
graham cracker or like an Oreo crust for like that kind of like a
yes.
pie, and I thought it was
Yeah.
really good. So
That's awesome. I love that you make the pigs. But yeah, so I do like to try cooking. I think it's fun to cook. But I mean, in a hot second, I'll order
right.
some food. I don't microwave burritos. I'm not opposed to microwaving burritos. I just never have.
Me either.
Yeah.
I no, I'd rather go to like,
Yeah.
I'd rather order Taco Bell. That's better than a microwave burrito or something.
I agree. I agree.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, and then cooking, you have to do all the cleaning and everything like that. And when it's
That's
yourself,
the
that's just
thing.
it's not worth it.
It's kind of not. Sometimes I'm like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah,
But every
I
time I order Postmates, I'm like, it's so expensive, Brooke. Get in gear and
honestly,
just
all the
make the food.
fees and then the tips.
I
It's like
know.
I could have like 5 meals if I cooked it by myself. So it's
It's
like a devil's
true.
advocate. So
Yeah.
you don't cook that much, so you probably haven't used the Sweet Magnolia's official cookbook.
Okay, here's the thing. I have the cookbook,
Oh, she has the
which is
cookbook.
awesome. Yes, I have the cookbook. It's awesome. I have not made anything from the cookbook. I'm ashamed to say, but I can make something from the cookbook because I own the cookbook. So, yes, that counts
Now,
for something, right?
yeah, that definitely counts.
Right,
So
right.
now something that Dana Sue cooked on screen, what would you most want to make IRL in real life?
That she made on screen.
Yeah, yeah, something that she made on the show.
Hmm. trying to think like, because I don't know if we've ever completed a dish.
The only,
Well, the Eric's but brownies, but those are Eric's.
true, true, that's true.
Um, I don't know. I make sure I'm doing a lot of like
Like,
stirring
right.
sauces.
Not full on cooking. Let me just get like, the background.
Right? Or I'm like marinating, you know? But
Well, I
I'm trying
guess
to
like
think,
just
I
a
don't even
dish
know.
that you don't, it doesn't have to be completed, but a dish, I guess, that she's making or that's on the show.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like, gosh, you're really stretching my brain right now. I'm trying to think of all the things. For some reason, risotto keeps coming in my head. So I feel like, did we make a risotto?
Yes,
But I love
you
a
did.
risotto.
No, I was just rewatched it and I remember I was like, I think risotto, that sounds really good. And I Googled what it was and I want to have it.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Oh my gosh, look at me pulling that out. Yes.
yes, yes.
The risotto. I love risotto.
But no, that's really funny. That
Yeah.
brings me to my next question because there is actually a dish, one of my favorite scenes with Dana Sue.
Mm.
The rare moment that she isn't cooking, she
Yeah.
or pouring out a margarita with the girls. She's often seen having like really intimate, emotional scenes with people. And one of my favorite scenes with her is when she's cooking the catfish. And then she shows them how to make the best catfish they've ever had. And it's just they're
Yeah.
all having dancing, having fun. Do you have like a
Yeah.
specific favorite scene or emotional scene of Dana Sue?
Gosh. First of all, I love that scene. I love that scene with Dana Sue's guys, her men. I love those. And those three guys, they're so fun to work with. They're just the sweetest. Um, you know, I I can't say that I have a favorite. I will say working with Brandon Quinn, who plays Ronnie, is I mean, I love working with Brandon. We get some great material to work with, and it's we're such a we've really been able to develop a teamwork between it. Like we're such a team, not only just as Ronnie and Dina Sue, but as Brandon and Brooke. And I feel really taken care of, and I hope he does too. I think he does. And like so those scenes are very you just when you're in an environment where you know you're going to be taken care of by your scene partner, it's like there's kind of nothing like it in the field, you know. I also love working with Annalise. I love the
Oh,
kitchen scenes.
yes.
The kitchen scenes are so fun. Oh, Annalise Judge, who plays Annie, I should say. I love her. I love the kitchen stuff. Oh gosh, it's so hard. I don't have like a specific. I don't know.
No, that's fine. You gave us a plethora
Yeah.
of different things, and it's really hard to pick a favorite Dana Sue because she is really such a strong character. You gotta love every scene that she's in.
Yeah, she's got great stuff. Really great
Does.
stuff. Yeah.
Now, speaking of that, you were talking about having that chemistry with Daddy Ronnie. Are you team
Hmm.
Farmer Jeremy, Daddy Ronnie, or perhaps Independent Woman for Dana Sue?
Okay, here's the thing. I am team all of them, and let me
All of them.
explain. I am because Jeremy to me was such a great gift for Dana Sue. You know, when you're breaking up with someone or that romantic relationship isn't going well or whatever, it can really impact your self-esteem, right? And your self-esteem kind of suffers.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jeremy was someone who was so sweet and so innocently truthful and just really thought Dana Sue was gorgeous and beautiful and he desired her. And I think that that was such a nice thing for Dana Sue to actually get to feel that she was seen, that she was paid attention to, that she was wanted. And like their relationship really is quite truthful. Like it
Hmm.
was just a beautiful kind of like one of those things in life that wasn't meant for all the life, but just a little bit of it. And I like that their relationship kind of shows like it doesn't always have to be terrible and awful. Like something can just be a gift and then you move on, you know? And I think that that was a great thing that Jeremy brought to her. So that makes me team Jeremy. But team Ronnie is because Ronnie is like her foundation. He's like her soul match. He's like that like forever person, and
Hmm.
how do you not root for that person, and how much they have worked out and committed and put into trying to create something new out of something old that wasn't really great.
Mhm.
right? So like what it takes to do that takes a lot of courage and bravery and trust in the other person you're doing it with. So I love team Brandon. Oh my god, team Ronnie. And then I will say, obviously, I love independent Jane. Or, oh my gosh, independent Dana Sue. I loved independent Dana Sue because I feel like independent Dana Sue runs the gamut through Jeremy, Ronnie, all of them, right? So everything that happens to her is a gift of more self knowledge and understanding about herself. So that's how I feel about it.
No,
Yeah,
it is. It's so hard to choose, and especially like looking at it, you have such like a deeper connection with the character too, playing her. So, you have that
yeah,
interaction and everything. But oh my gosh, when he was just like, he wasn't mad when you were choosing Ronnie. He was just like, you got to do what you got to do. But I'm here. I was
yeah.
just like, oh my gosh, that is just so sweet. I was crying but no, it's
I
it's crazy. I'm
know.
excited to see because it looks like she has so much to figure out in these 10 episodes of season 3.
Yeah, she really does. Yeah,
And then as far as we have another there's so many different love triangles here in in this show. We have Helen. Are you
yeah.
team Eric or Ryan?
You're gonna kill me.
I
You're gonna
know.
kill me because
Making her choose. It's like Bella and Edward and Jacob all over again.
no. And you're going to kill me because of my answer. My answer is I'm both. And here's why because Eric provides something very specific for Helen, and so does Ryan. And all of them are just pieces of how she understands herself and figures out what she wants. So if she were to pick Eric, I would be team Eric. And if she were to pick Ryan, I would be team Ryan. There's other things to Ryan that bring some like you got to take breaths sometimes with Ryan.
Right?
But
Yes.
if she chose Ryan, then Dana Sue would trust that is the choice that is best for her. And so she would get on board. That is a terrible answer because I know you want me to pick one and I'm not picking one.
No, it's fine. I think this is a different relationship, whereas Dana Sue, I feel like she has to pick one, but I feel like Helen, maybe they could just all three live in harmony. No,
Right. Right. I'll introduce that to Cheryl and see
right.
what she thinks.
Season
Maybe.
4.
Why not? Right.
But no, we're literally 3 weeks out from season 3, and we just got the first look today. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the trailer that we got. Again, I,
Yeah.
I thought that it was crazy. Like I was scrolling on my phone and I'm like, oh my gosh, Sweet Magnolias just posted, and I'm talking to Brooke tonight. What are the odds? But it looks like there are plenty more margarita nights, laugh, and tears headed our way with this season, as well as a lot of growth for each of our girls. This
Yeah.
trailer I think, perfectly captured the essence of the show and of Serenity. Watching it, it was just like, oh my gosh, this is exactly how I feel in the show, the
Yeah.
friendships, everything like that.
Oh, good.
One thing that I definitely noticed is Dana Sue has this tiara in multiple clips, and I'm assuming that she's finally accepting the fact that she is a queen.
Yeah, I think Dana Sue maybe has always known she was a queen, but was maybe not being treated as if she was.
Exactly.
Yeah, she and Ronnie are continuing to work through their relationship to figure out where it's going to land, and they're kind of learning how to new ways of communication, new ways of behavior, new ways of taking care of themselves, new ways of taking care of each other. And like they're presented with some challenges to that this season for sure, to figure out how are they going to respond and how are they going to respond differently that leads them into a different kind of relationship, than they had before.
Hmm.
And so they have um yeah, so the tiara comes into play there, which I'll let people just kind of enjoy that. But it is one of the things I really like about this season for Dana Sue is because we're not just one thing, we're all the things, right? And
Hmm.
so you get to see in this season some other sides of Dana Sue. She's like, you kind of see a little bit of her flirty side, and you
Ooh.
see her playful side, her funny side. Like there's all these pieces that kind of come out, these little nuanced pieces that I hope people will really enjoy getting to understand Dana Sue even more. And that's I just loved it. But that's a longer answer to say the tiara plays a part in all of that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. I love Dana. So like we were talking, she's a powerhouse, but we really have, like you said, we haven't seen her kind of let loose as much as I would like to. But if we do this season, I'm excited to see that side of Dana Sue.
Yeah, yeah, we do. She plays a bit more and you know, and you kind of get to see other sides to her and you get to see other sides to Ronnie and maybe kind of what brought them together in the first place.
Ooh, I'm so
Yeah, it's fun.
excited. Now it
Yeah.
looks like she has some drama coming too, because in the season two finale, we briefly are introduced to a new character who we see again in the trailer, this blonde woman who talks to Annie about Dana Sue ruining people's lives. And then she's also the
Yeah.
one who slashed the tires on the van. What can you tell me about
Yeah.
this blonde woman who shall not be named?
Oh, well, I can give you her
Oh,
name if
you
you would
can give her.
like.
Oh, let's give us the
I'm
name.
allowed to give the name.
Ooh, the
Her name
name.
is Kathy.
Kathy. Ooh, I think it should be
Kathy.
Karen. No, just kidding.
Yeah, her name is Kathy. And I cannot tell a lot more about this because we really want people to kind of have that journey with her. And
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, she's tricky. She's a little she comes, there's trouble in her past and she brings in some issues for Dana Sue and Ronnie for sure.
Ooh, ooh, that's gonna
Yeah.
be. I'm scared. I'm excited. I know in the trailer she was just like, all I ever wanted to be was your friend. So I'm like, this girl cannot
Oh
move on
Lord.
past high school, but
I know.
but
Yeah,
I'm
Kathy's
excited to
got
see it
some
all
stuff.
unfold.
She's full of her own resentment, that's for sure.
Well, we only have 3 weeks until I'm literally have the whole weekend blocked off. I'm like, I'm gonna binge
You're
this
gonna
show in
binge it
one
all.
sitting.
Oh, good, good, good.
So
Yeah.
speaking of, we were talking about earlier with Drop Dead Diva and Broadway. You were a Broadway star before, and we heard, oh my gosh, now I'm on a tripping over my words here. We heard Jane sing a lot in Drop Dead Diva. Are we ever gonna hear Dana Sue sing? Because you are so talented, and I feel like maybe after one, two margaritas, there can be some like karaoke with the girls.
Right, right. Well, that's so nice of you to say that. I do not sing in season three. I don't. Heather Headley sings. Heather
Ooh.
sings, so that's gonna people are gonna love that. Yeah, so I don't know if there'll be any singing for me. I don't know. I guess we'll see if we get more seasons, which I hope, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, but Heather does sing, and it's beautiful.
Oh, I'm so excited for that. Any element of music, sign me up. I'm a musical geek at heart. So
Yeah, I love it. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
now, speaking of Broadway, you were on Wicked. You were on like the
Mhm.
first national tour of Wicked, and now
Yeah.
they're coming out with a movie. Are you excited for that, or do you prefer, keeping it to the stage? Because I know there is such like it's such an experience going to the theater versus seeing it on screen. Or are you open
Right.
to, seeing the movie productions of musicals?
Yeah, I'd love to see the movie production. It's going to be great. I'm so
And
excited for it.
Ariana Grande, oh my gosh, I'm so
It's it's going to be great. Yeah, like I think that there is a very special experience to the live experience and having the live audience and there's really nothing like it. It's just
Mhm.
so completely different than the screen, and there's so much value to that. But I love that we would put it on the screen. It's so fun. But I'm a big proponent of like isn't it just more fun to like stuff? Like it's
Right.
so fun to like stuff. And like, why can't it go there and there and we could do this and this and all these different ideas with it? So whenever I tend to be like, great, let's see that and see what that is and see the amazing talent that's going to be in that. And I'm really hopeful. I hope it's going to be great. It should be. It's a great show. I love doing Wicked.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
so excited.
yeah, and then people who can't get to the stage, which I know it's a completely different experience, but you will get the essence of it. You will get the beautiful score, you'll get the performances like so it's great. More people to see fun creative art, you know?
Exactly. And I feel
Yeah.
like there can never be more is never too much. This
Yeah.
live action movie is gonna take in audiences that maybe the musical on stage musical
Yeah.
doesn't. So it's really interesting to see.
One
And
feeds the other and yeah.
exactly. And it can open up
Yeah.
new fans to the stage musical. So it's gonna be really
Yeah.
exciting to see.
Yeah. I'm excited too.
Now, segueing back into season three, Are there any
Yes.
moments in the script that just like completely shocked you that you know is going to have a big reaction from the audience, bigger than the Isaac Bill reveal in season two?
Let me think. Yeah, I do think there will be
Shocking.
those. Yeah, I think
Ooh,
there will be
okay.
some shocking, and I can't say more than that, or I'll get in big trouble.
No, it's
But
fine. It's fine. Prepare to
but
be
yeah,
shocked,
no,
everybody.
prepare to be shocked. Yeah, there's all little like reveals and um everybody's story, does what it does in life. It twists and turns and does all those things. So I don't think anyone will be lacking in like fun or reveals or following the train of everybody. So and it's funny because you said earlier growth. And that is like one of the things that I think this season is a lot about for everybody is growth. There's so much growth that happens, which I think is fun to watch,
Yeah.
you know?
It, no,
Yeah. And
absolutely. And even
satisfying. Yeah.
yes, exactly. And even in the trailer, like I could see like Dana Sue, like that she's going to grow so much this season. I could kind of just see
Yeah.
her becoming happier and realizing things that she maybe hasn't in previous seasons. So I always love that arc in characters when you grow with
Yeah.
them and get to see them finally realize things that maybe the audience realized that the character hasn't yet. And
Yeah.
it's going
Yeah.
to be
Good
really
point.
interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, because that outside point of view can kind of spot something before the person themselves can spot it,
Mhm.
and that happens a lot. It happens a lot for Maddie in this season too.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a lot of like things that maybe we all kind of knew about her that she didn't really kind of realize, so and how Dana Sue relates to her in that way is very specific because she already knows this quality about Maddie, but Maddie hasn't quite addressed it yet, so she'll have to do that.
Oh my gosh, I am seated. I'm so ready for that. It's gonna be so, all those the show is one of those that is so real that it almost is
Mm,
like it hits home so many times because a lot of shows are so dramatized, and obviously this is Hollywoodized sometimes, but it's one of those
right.
shows that is just so real, and the friendship aspect of it, the relationships, is stuff that happens to people every single day. So it's just crazy to
Yeah.
see it unfold and have that emotion.
Right? It's the magic of stories like that because there's really not much you can't apply to yourself in some way, shape, or form. And whether it's this or this or this, and it's I don't know, what is it, comforting, I guess, to think that that's a universal story enough that it shows up in a TV show, right?
Right.
Like something is so universal that it's being written about in a show you watch. So you don't feel, I think inherently you just don't feel as alone about stuff you're going through because you're like, it's in a TV show. Like someone wrote about this. So it's clearly common enough that this is not just me, that I'm feeling this or going through this. And I don't know. I love that way that it reaches people.
No, 100%. I mean, this has to do with what you just said. Losing my mom, it was really hard
Mm.
for me because there wasn't a lot of people who had lost their parents when I was 11 years old. And if they did, it
Gosh,
was
so
like,
young.
like cancer or something. They had prepared for it, which is, you can't prepare for losing a parent. But my mom was murdered when I was at school. So it was very something that really
Oh,
struck me. And I didn't, it was
oh
very
my
hard
God.
for me to I thought I was alone and nobody could relate to losing a parent unexpectedly and
Yeah,
things like that. And I found a lot of that in movies and TV shows, like these characters losing their parents and, growing from that, becoming better people and everything like that. That helped me a lot. And it's crazy, like you
yeah,
mentioned, that these shows can impact that and make you realize you're not alone. You can overcome it. There
yeah,
are other people in the world going through what you are.
yeah. Oh my God. I don't know how you handled that. Clearly, you are quite strong.
Oh, thank you.
And I hope you had tremendous support around you for that. I my dad died unexpectedly. He just went to sleep and didn't wake up. My mother had an illness that was quite terrible, and so that was different. But so while it's not the same as your mother, I do know the instant of someone
Hmm.
gone that you were not expecting. How that happens was different, but and it's so rocked. I mean, and I was 36 and you were 11. I just can't even imagine. So it's a real testament to you and your strength and your character, your strength of character, who you are. But I'm so glad that Diva could help in that way, that there was something about that show that spoke to you and talked to you and helped you get through. Because I can't imagine. I can't even imagine. Wow.
Oh my gosh, I did not mean to make this about me. I'm so
No.
sorry,
Oh
but
my God, you
I
didn't. No,
just,
that's a conversation. No, I'm so glad you said that. But exactly, yeah. I mean, it's
yeah,
amazing what the gift of the arts
this is
can
why we
give
need to
to
pay
us.
the writers so they can continue to give us
Exactly.
these amazing stories.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely supporting all who create stories.
Well, there's so much to say about season three, but if you could condense it down any way possible into 3 words, what would they
Hmm.
be?
Okay. Well, growth, because we talked about growth.
Hmm.
Um, and every character grows, I feel like, in this season. So definitely growth. Um, I would say, well, heartwarming, because our show is very heartwarming, which I think is one of the great things about it. You can bet on that you're going to get some like beautiful, heartwarming, supportive, like loving
Those
characters,
warm
and
feelings, like,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly, which is so lovely. Um, and then I would say some fun.
Ooh,
There's a
okay.
lot of fun in this season. Yeah, there's some like fun things that happen, and as well as the twists and turns that we've already touched on, but like there's some fun. And so I think people will really enjoy it. I hope. I hope.
Well, I mean, if they've enjoyed the first 2 seasons, I can only expect that they're going to love the third, and hopefully it
Yeah,
brings
I
in more
hope.
fans as well. I'm really excited to see what those
Yeah,
views are going to be like because it's been a year and a half. I know people have been anticipating the return to Serenity.
I know, right? I know. Yeah. I did some press with Joanna and Heather earlier. We did like an
Oh,
interview,
yep, yep.
and I hadn't seen them in so long. I was like,
Oh.
"Hi. Hi, how are you?" 'Cause it's so, it's a long time. So it's hopefully people are eager to watch it.
When did you film this season then? Because it was probably in a while with COVID and or how did that work with filming season three?
Yeah, season 3 we shot July to October of last
Oh,
year.
okay, wow. Oh yeah,
So it's
almost a
been a
year. Yeah.
year since we started shooting. Yeah.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
definitely a long time, but it's all worth it. The wait
Yeah.
is finally over. Just 3 weeks away. So exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah. Pretty
Uh,
close. Very
but
soon.
before we go, there's just one thing that I just like to ask everybody this. I want to know everybody's answer to this. I
Okay.
am a TV binger. I watch over 30 shows every single month. So from
Wow.
start to finish, I go back and I watch probably my top 5 shows every year because they just make me
Okay.
feel good. I love them. What is your
Yeah.
favorite TV show or one that you can watch over and over again that never gets old?
Okay. Um Friends.
Oh, yes.
I watch over and over and over. And I was there. I was like, when it first came out, when it wasn't on reruns. So
Right, right.
yeah. Like I was like old school with it. So I've been carrying it since the beginning, still watching it, still watching it, still watching it. The
Dedication.
off Yeah, right. The Office, I'll repeat often. But I gotta tell you, I'm on the Good Place
Oh
kick
my
right
gosh.
now.
Have you
I
watched it
love
through or is this your first?
oh
Okay. Okay, I was gonna
repeatedly.
I was gonna say that ending, one of the best endings I've ever
One of the
seen on
best
it. Yeah,
finales
yep,
ever.
ever. Oh my gosh. So
I
good.
love that show so much.
And
I
oh
love
my
it so
gosh. The
much.
first season when that reveal literally had me show, oh, you're in the bad place. Oh my gosh, no. Oh,
I
crazy.
know. I know. I love that show. And I keep watching the 4 seasons and then just starting it again and
Yeah.
then starting it again. I'm like, here we go. We're watching it again. I love it. I love it so much. It's such a good show. Man, that's a
Is.
good show.
It
Yeah.
is. Well, I feel like there are definitely fans who do that with Sweet Magnolias. I know I did it with Drop Dead Diva for so long. It was just my show
With
that I
Diva.
rewatched over and over again. And like I said, I
Love
still
it.
come back to it once a year. So I really love to
That's so
have those
great.
TV shows that you can just like your comfort TV shows, no
Yeah.
matter what.
They're
If you're
super
sad, you go
comforting.
to it and you can make you feel
Yes.
good. I think everybody
It's
needs to have
super
that.
comforting. Yes, there's something reliable about it. There's something just comforting, and there's so much that we're all handling at all times, and there's something when you go to that familiarity and that comfort place, and you just kind of like fall into that world, and it becomes a comfort. So I'm with you. I am with you on that, and I'm glad Diva was one of them. That's such a compliment.
Yeah, I'll
Thank
take that
you.
to my grave. That'll always be one of my top five, if not three favorite shows. I've gotten my best friend
Thank
Jessie.
you.
I got her to watch. That was one of the first shows that I ever got her to watch, and now she takes my recommendations no matter what. She would not take them, but then I was like, "You need to watch Drop Dead Diva," and she's just like, "Ah, that doesn't sound something I'm interested in." And then I
Right.
sat her down and made her watch it, and she's just like, "Oh my gosh, we need to watch it all right now." And now she watches it all the time too. So it's
I
crazy
love that.
how people can just, a lot of things, like honestly, I would have probably never watched it. It would have never been something that would have interested me. Oh, this girl switches body, but you give it a
Right.
watch and then you connect with those characters and see, oh my gosh, this is like, you know
Yeah.
it's crazy.
I fell in love with Deb Jane,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will always love her. I loved playing her. She was so fun, and because you're putting the two characters essentially together, Deb is the soul in there, but she's then mixing Jane in, and then it becomes kind of a new being, kind of, so to speak.
Right.
And I loved the analysis of that, actually, like the script analysis of it, and deciding like when is Jane influencing, and I just loved it. And I recently actually just told Josh Berman, who is the creator of that, I recently just said to him, I was like, I just loved her. I loved playing her. Yeah, she'll always be one of my greatest memories, you
Well,
know?
that's
Yeah.
so awesome. We'll always have Jane Deb and Drop Dead
We
Diva.
will. We
Well,
will.
Brooke, I think we've talked about everything. Drop Dead Diva, Sweet Magnolias season 3, and it has been a blast. I'm so excited to see what this season has in store, and hopefully get some more because I'm not done with Serenity yet. And I know
I
Netflix
know.
has been not real good about keeping all their shows around, especially the ones that all the fans love. But Sweet Magnolias, we need it.
Crossing fingers. We hope they do. Yeah, it would be great to see more. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Thank you for being so lovely.
Oh my
This was
gosh,
so
absolutely.
fun.
Yes, we need to do it again, maybe sometime. Any other projects? Maybe just do a Drop
Yeah.
Dead Diva discussion or something
Yeah,
sometime.
for sure. Let
Yes.
me know.
Of course. Well, thank you so much. And
Yeah.
for you guys at home, if you haven't, go binge watch the first two seasons of Sweet Magnolias on Netflix before season 3 on July 20th.